Welcome to the Undrafted Hockey Fan page. We're talking about the New York Islanders today and a little bit about their offseason and their preseason. So if you haven't joined us yet, my name is Brad, and we are going over all 32 NHL teams, going from Z to A. So we start off with Winnipeg, and we are going all the way up. So now we are at the New York Islanders. So if you have any teams that you like, the New York Islanders down on alphabetical order. Rangers, Ottawa Senators, Washington Capitals, any of those, Vegas, Seattle, Toronto. I've gone through all of them so far. So if you want to join us on the journey, let me know. Hit like, subscribe, and let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to go over some of the additions and subtractions, and the list is quite comprehensive. And notable additions for the New York Islanders was no one. They added no one. They didn't add anyone extra this offseason. We will talk about a trade that they did earlier last season that may be a little bit more of the what everyone's kind of looking for. One of the notable losses is Zach Parise, a little bit older guy, but he is now gone. So let's just jump over to their page, like their cap friendly page. So they have zero cap space, which is one of the reasons they potentially didn't do much with it. They just didn't have much to work with, because a lot of these guys are signed for a very long time. So I want to go over real quick some of the reasons they couldn't do a lot of their moves. So that is not working out very well. So all right, now we're back. So a lot of these guys are signed up for a very long time. So you have Matthew Barzal. They just signed Bo Horvat for a long time. Pierre Engvall, he just signed him for 8 years. Casey Zizekas for a long time. So a lot of these guys are really capped up for a long time, which is one of the reasons they can't do a lot of things. So actually, we'll jump over to their depth chart. That way, maybe get you a little bit more better idea of what you're looking at. So here we go. Barzal till 2031. Horvat 31. Anders Lee a little bit sooner, 2026, but you have Engvall till 30. Even Nelson's 2025. They couldn't. A lot of guys aren't leaving this upcoming year. Only ones are Wallstrom. He just got re-signed, and Matt Martin and Kyle Clutterbuck. But these guys are older, so they're probably not going to stick around even. So, and their cap hits aren't that crazy high, right? Look at 2029, 2030, 25. Romanov, right? So like Dobson. So a lot of their top guys are already signed for so long, and there wasn't many moves they could make. So again, we're gonna go over some of this. We'll go over the depth chart in a second. I just want to go over the real quick trade that they did with Bo Horvat. They got him from the Canucks, sent over Anthony Bolivier, as well as prospect Aturati, second line player, and the first round pick. First round pick ended up going to the Red Wings, trading for Philip Hronik. But either way, Islanders did not have that pick. So moving on, one of the people that they also signed long-term was Pierre Engvall this year, and I just want to show you the comparison. So with Toronto Maple Leafs, he was around a half point per game player in 2021-22. Didn't play as well, but didn't play as high up didn't play a lot in very high up in the lineup. Only 21 points, 58 games. But then we're going over to the Islanders, picked up to a half point per game, and that kind of happens with guys. They get a little better when they change teams. But he did sign a massive deal. 8 years. Let's see right here. 8 years at $3 million. That's a long time for a guy who only averaged 13 minutes on ice. But again, if he's going to be playing the second line position here, then I guess $3 million would be great if he ends up being able to perform really well. But again, these guys are not very high. This is not a very high scoring team. Pierre Engvall, massive guy, 5'6". Big guy, right? So I think that's kind of the benefit of him. He will be more of a shutdown position on that second line. Hopefully he can produce a little bit better. So we will see. So going over some of the guys that I think that are going to be your, of course, your big players. Anders Lee, Horvat, and Barzal, all playing well, playing a good amount of points again. But Islanders points isn't their big game. Again, they're a huge defensive game. So I imagine we'd see bigger numbers from Matt Barzal. But look at that, 0.88 goals or points per game. Similar production to Bo Horvat as well, who, by the way, speaking of people who didn't do as well once they were traded, Bo Horvat is one of those guys as well. Just jumping down here with Vancouver Canucks, 54 points in 49 games. And then jumping over to the Islanders, only 16 points in 30 games. So a major drop in production. We're going to see him. We're hoping to see him bounce back, especially because he just signed an 8-year deal. So you want him, if you're going to sign him to a massive deal like that at $8.5 million, you need him to perform. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, moving on. We got Pierre Engvall again, Brock Nelson, 36 goals on that second line. Awesome. Love that. Again, probably has a good chunk of power play minutes there. Again, so I guess I'm going over some of these guys. I'm just not super impressed. I think that's kind of where it stops. Those 5 guys are really the guys that really only ones I'm really impressed with. Jean Gabriel Pageau is fine. There was talks about potentially moving him. I think they should have moved him when they had a chance to free up that $5 million. Not super impressed, honestly. I mean, you have this identity line. It's fine, but I'm not super impressed. Adam Pelech and Pollock, I hear, are phenomenal. Again, their point production is fine. Noah Dobson, I think, is your most impressive defenseman at 49 points. I really like that for him. I think definitely he's going to be a top line guy. But I'm over this team. Besides you have Sorokin, who you can ride till $4 million till 2032. That is no, that's wrong. That is wrong. He's probably on that right now. That is absolutely wrong. Yes, I was so wrong on that. So yeah, he's on a $4 million deal right now, but just signed a massive $8.25 million deal. Oh, so right there. So he's locked up for a while. I apologize. That scared me for a second. So anyways, Sorokin is going to be, that's 62 games. Look at .924, crazy, 2.34. I mean, this guy's great. I really like this deal. It's phenomenal. I actually like that they signed Varlamov as well. They did so. One of the things that they talked about with Sorokin is he was really excited that they re-signed Varlamov because right now he's making 2.75. There you go. So they did re-sign him. So the 2.75. So Varlamov is a bit older. I'm not super old, but he's just a little bit older. Which right here, 35. So he's 35, but he now signed for another couple of years. And the thing is I think this had a lot to do with Ilya Sorokin saying, "Hey man, I want my guy. I want my Varlamov. I want my backup to be him. I don't want some random dude. You want me to play well? Sign me a guy that's a good tandem with me." And I think that was massive. That was very smart by Lou. Most of these contracts right now, I'm not super happy with Lou, but I think those two are very good, and I think Sorokin definitely made his money there. So, again, hopefully the Islanders I think they're going to follow the playoffs. I don't think they're a playoff team this year. I think that they miss it. I just don't see it. I don't see them being competitive enough. I don't think they're deep enough. But again, they're that shutdown game, right? So a goalie can get you into the playoffs. I don't see it. I just don't. I think that the Penguins stacked up a lot more, so I think they're going to be taking that spot the Islanders had last year in the playoffs. So that is my opinion. But that's, again, I'm not super impressed with this lineup. It's not great. It's not a great lineup. And maybe Islanders fans, you can tell me something different. I'm not super impressed with the lineup of this. I think they're going to fail. I think they're just not going to be good. And I can't, it's a gut feeling. I just don't see it. I think you have some players they're good players, but they're not great players. And maybe it's the system. I think maybe it's Lou. I'm not sure. But I think something needs to change in the island, and it's not looking good for them, in my opinion. They're hard. They barely got into the playoffs anyways, so they need to make some changes. So let me know what your thoughts on the changes should be. Hit like, subscribe, comment, because I want to know, because I'm confused. I don't follow them enough, but I want to know, because I want to learn about them and figure out. Maybe I'm going to root for them in a different way, right? I'm a hockey fan all through and through. That's why it's Undrafted Hockey Fan, not just, hey, I'm a Red Wings fan, hey, I'm a Sharks fan, hey, I'm a Stars fan. I want to I want to learn about them all, and I want you guys to tell me. So let me know, hit like, subscribe, and love you. Bye.